Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to kliqthistv.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions.
Yeah, 38 degrees this morning, Kevin.
Got
into the fucking car. And
so what do you do on something like that? What do you do? Just go and just sit out in your pool and do your fucking 3 minutes of fucking cold plunge?
The face dive, right, the cold plunge. And I go back in. I had to move the fucking plants. I'm trying to grow a lemon tree and an orange tree. It was coming along well in the summer. So I have large potted, so I had to haul them in there. I was doing like outside in the day because my backyard gets full sun, and then nighttime I just bring them in. Fuck it, they're just staying in the house. I can't haul the shit back.
No,
I thought I'd get another month of 50s, 60s.
So in Florida news, we have a tropical storm brewing called Sarah, and probably not going to do any damage to the peninsula. Well, but it's going right now where it's like by Belize, and it's skirting along there, and they're saying that this thing in Nicaragua is going to drop like 30 to 50 inches of rain.
On Florida?
No, on Nicaragua.
Oh, in Nicaragua.
And like the last time that happened, the amount of death was just staggering. And I'm just like, but at the same time, don't worry about the environmental protection thing.
Well, is Nicaragua where that fine prison system is being studied right now by the future AG? Or was that Venezuela? Where was that exactly?
All I know is Nicaraguans make a hell of a cigar.
They sure do. They can grow some freaking tobacco.
When you get 50 inches of rain, fucking put that in
exactly.
The
a little bit of moisture.
Yeah.
I was down in Florida for 8 days, and while I was down there, every time with the TV was just like on in the background, and like the local news would pop up. You're so right. I thought of you because we were in the pre-show, and someone was like, one of these youngins that run the show were like, I don't fuck with local TV. And you were like, when you live in a hurricane state,
yeah,
you fuck with local news. So I had the channel 2, the NBC affiliate, just like on in the background. I passed by every time weather came. I stopped and looked because there's always a mention, even if it's not going to hit. They talk about a tropical storm, just because of the location of Florida, southwest, southeast, where it's moving, whatever. But you got to stop and you got to pay attention.
My wife went on a cruise and this past weekend, and they had 11 to 15 foot seas like the whole time they were out there.
Oh no. Does she bring
no but her girlfriend she went with but she had the patch and everything. But one time her girlfriend, I think it was the last time they went, she got sick as fuck.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than seasickness. You're so trapped.
Once you get it, you're fucked.
I use those wristbands. It makes me look a little like Olivia Newton-John circa, 1980, right. Or perhaps a little Richard Simmons. But they work. That pressure point,
right?
A contact, it really works.
See, I've found staying the fuck on the ground and off a boat just alleviates that whole seasickness thing, right?
You don't have to buy a damn thing.
Nothing. I don't have to put a patch behind my ear, nothing.
I still do it here anyway when I'm home, but I don't have to. Just knowing I don't have to is helpful.
Right. Just wear that wristband.
Yeah, I saw some pictures that she posted. I wanted to ask her which of the 3 restaurants she liked best. Did she happen to mention to you? Because I took this cruise she was on a couple of months before, and you rotate.
She didn't like it because the boat was so big. Like that was like a big.
It's massive.
Yeah, that's not her gig.
Does she do like casino? Like what's her shit when she goes on there?
No, she doesn't do any. She doesn't gamble. And like when I think their port of call was Nassau.
Yep.
And she had already living with fucking Mr. Security. You know, there was like fucking 50 murders in Nassau last year of all of American tourists. And I'm like, how many times do you have to fucking walk out? Like, it's not like the old days when T was with us and I'd go on the boat and we'd fucking walk up the street, take that right, walk up the street a couple of blocks, and there was a sushi place. We'd get off the boat and eat sushi and get back on because there was no sushi on the boat.
On that first street, like
Yeah.
after the pier? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Like right as you walk up, there's like a colorful little beach area and you just kind of yeah.
But she could go, I mean, you could hit those little local areas and then like we bought a day pass for Atlantis. So we went from the protection of a ship to the protection of a resort, and I didn't fuck around on the island.
Yeah, but to me, it's like I've been to Nassau 8,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather go to the Abacos.
I think that Tamara might have mentioned when we were at dinner. I think she was saying that that's the best time to be on the boat.
Yeah,
because all the motherfuckers are off and you can go do everything.
That's the time for you to fucking let all the fucking idiots get off the boat. And then you just.
The private island is nice. That was probably her second port, right? That's a nice spot.
They rode bikes and got massages, but it was kind of an on and off drizzle day there. Mm-hmm. Scattered clouds.
You know, speaking of a fun day, I didn't spend my day at the orthopedist's office today, Kev.
I did,
but do tell. So you told us about the shoulder in the workout, and this.
Yeah, so I felt something pop in my shoulder. So that was last Monday. So today is what, 10 days?
Yes.
Right. So. One thing I have learned in my old age is if you feel something that's fucked up, like until you get the MRI, until you get somebody to look at the MRI, because there's a real good chance that you could have like a partial tear and then go in there and fuck around and have a full tear. And then they got to hunt and, try to pull shit together. So I've learned, save it so they can at least stem cell it. Like you just maybe you can avoid the surgery.
Right.
And so I went in there today, and he went through the whole thing, and I just asked him. I said, "Can you show me my outside bicep tendon?" He showed me that. I said, "Can you show me the inside?" When he showed it to me, he showed me all my different rotator cuffs. Then he showed me a pretty decent bone spur on the end of my humerus, which I found nothing funny. And but he just said that I have so much arthritis that he said probably what happened was there was an area that looked like scar tissue that I had broke loose from when they cut. I had some cysts and some bone spurs that they cut, so that they cut all the way through. So when they did it kind of, so I think that is what split. Because I have a hard time pulling up a pair of my shorts on my left side.
So did Virgil. But
yeah, so, but seriously, but since I've done this, like the first day I got up, I pulled my underwear on, I was just like, there's no pain on the back of my shoulder. Like, what the fuck? So I mean, it actually was freeing. So now I was
just going to ask you, from the way you described it, is the opening of the scar, does it cause internal bleeding, or it's so healed that
it's so it's it just it almost like just because it's the fucking gig was so nasty. If anybody has my Instagram, you can go and you look at this scar, and it's all black and blue and purple, and it's this big fucking. It looks like somebody shot a shotgun in my shoulder, and that thing, during uh, finally it just fucking the scar tissue opened up.
Well, thank God that it wasn't
Yeah, I
anything
mean
that-
that's it. So, but tomorrow will be my first day back in the gym, and it's just like 40%. Take it easy, warm up, stretch, come home, ice. Like I got away with one. I was training that day that I fucked it up early in that workout. I was training heavy. I did a set of 8 reps. I never go low. And I said, like, fuck, man, like you skated by. And then the other thing was they did a EMG where they checked the nerve impulses. So they put needles in you and they shoot electric current down your leg. And my L3 left side, that nerve is being pinched. It's not getting full. It's not getting a full. But he said, like, it's not where it's not going to recover. It's just
Right.
that we've got to get the stenosis, the bone growth on that nerve is once that disc herniated is just too much pressure. So they're
So
going to
just
have
for
to.
anyone who doesn't know the body like you do, the stenosis is what? It's a calcium growth on the bone
Yeah,
that kind of juts out and hits a nerve, right?
or it can close like you've got in the back of your of each one of your
vertebrae
discs. Yeah, you've got those holes that the nerves come out of, and those things can get smaller and impinge the nerves also. And then if you do that, and that's between the two, a disc, and you lose that disc in that space, and you got that bone growth. So I talked to the spinal surgeon, and they'll be able to just go in like a fucking size of McDonald's straw, and go in and just take that piece of bone out. Real minimally invasive procedure.
They snip it or shave it?
I think they have to. I mean, they'll have to grind it probably.
Right.
But
right.
you got your nerves in there, so there's a different. Like, I don't know if this guy. I didn't even ask him if he used a laser. Some guys use a laser now.
Oh.
So.
Right.
I just know that the guy does fucking pro athletes, so
yeah. Well,
once I find, and then I'm still scheduled to go to BioAccelerator down in Columbia. So
when's this?
As soon as I'm just waiting to get everything worked out. I had to send them my MRI of my lumbar, and because I'd sent them my report, and I sent them they just needed a better image than they had, and there's only so much you can do with stenosis with stem cell, but it can definitely. I mean, like my shoulders right now it'll flourish because all that tendonitis and all that wear and tear. That stem cell will give that a nice.
Now, what about the back?
The back, I'll just have to. I mean, I'll have to get that piece taken out. It'll help all my disc health. Besides that disc that's just really fucked, it'll help. And then, I think you can't do. You're very minimal for 6 weeks of what you can do once you have the surgery. And then you at 3 months you have no restrictions. So it's going into winter. So if I can get this thing done mid-December, and we go mid-January, mid-February, mid-March. It's not nicer yet. So by the time I get in the gym, I'll have my beach body ready by the time
Okay.
So
So no working out for 3 months, or minimal.
no,
workout.
minimal. I mean, yeah, minimal. I can still do. I'll still be able to train. I just, I won't be able to do something stupid like bent rows or,
Right.
just just stimulate. I'll be able to, because I purposely cut my carbs way back because I don't want to put weight on. So I mean, I'm like 275 right now. Fuck, I was heavier playing basketball overseas than this. So I'm 50 pounds lighter than my wrestling weight.
Right. You sent me when we talk about the shot and the weight loss thing and all the benefits of it, but you always told me about the muscle mass loss.
Right.
And you send me things about. I have to say, I was in Florida, so I was walking around a lot. There's a certain theme park down there that I have to spend a lot of time at. And so, walking for 8 hours straight, I get like my tolerance, my back muscles, right? Which hold one erect and separate us from Paleolithic man, are like, you would think that when you lose 40 pounds, it's so much easier to carry yourself around. Kevin, after 2 hours, I have to stretch every 15 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm guessing this is because
you lose
of the muscle mass loss.
Yeah, you lose muscle mass. And the thing is I think I forget what it is. Is it 1% after age 40? And then at age 50, it's like 3% a year. And like that's the you see Biden and you see how he moves, and it's just like he's thin.
That's me.
He's thin, but he doesn't have. Then you look at somebody like Jagger, who's still thin, but it's also it's that it's the flexibility. Like my hamstrings over the course of this injury have gotten so fucking tight. And I mean, it's like people say, well, I stretch. Like you have to stretch like 2-3 minutes and hold a stretch in order for it to process to where it actually does some good. And most people do it for 10 seconds and think they're going to get something out of it.
Right. What's the time on that, you said? Here's the 50s, you lose 0.5 to 2% per year. Madonna. 60s, 4 to 5%, 77 to 8%. And I'm exacerbating that with my weight loss. So I have to get one of these miracle supplements.
So in your 60s, you if you're losing 5% a year, fuck. That's 50%. That's by the time you're 70, you've lost 50% of your muscle from turning 60 to 70.
Right. Like a wilting flower.
That's why fucking Kennedy's on the gas.
Right. Well, you relax there, Rachel. I just wanted to mention before we go berserk with that, that Dutch Mantell returned to the air, and I don't think we mentioned on air. He had a couple of like life-threatening.
I saw something, but I never found out what the situation was with Dutch.
It was a combination of things over time, and his wife at the same time was sick and hospitalized, and like
how old's Dutch?
75. I won't speculate, but maybe Steve will bring it up. I'm sure. I'm not sure, but I mean, it was like life threatening. It was touch and go for a while. So, and he's back behind a microphone on their podcast, and and I liked Dutch when I worked with him. So Kev, you got along with Dutch, I assume? 74.
74.
All right.
I always
just such.
I never had a problem with Dutch.
But if you didn't, you didn't. No.
I'll tell you a funny story. We were in Lake Charles, and we were sharing a room, and it was a motel. We were up on the second floor, and this older couple was walking by us, and he was fumbling fucking with the key. And I said, man, I said, don't you be hesitating. I said, just get in that damn room and get them panties off. And this couple walked by and looked at us like, and here he was, Yosemite Sam going to get banged by the Master Blaster.
Tremendous.
So, yeah.
Were you in TNA with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
We were at WCW together.
Yeah.
I've traveled up and down the road with Dutch. Dutch was in my first.
That's the first ride, right? With Sheiky.
Dutch, Sheik, Sid, and me.
Right. Tremendous. See, I it's just a smart guy. I always liked listening to him, and I worked with him one weekend. I had him on the roast. I had him on the corny roast, and then did a guest booker with him. He actually just left TNA at the time, so I got him right after that. And so always dug him. So I'm glad you're doing well, Dutch. Just saw about that. And the other thing I think of when I see Dutch, I think of great old school booking, and I think of Manscaped, because I want to hit that thing a little bit. I just want to help the mustache beard action along a little bit. And you guys can do this too. You'd feel the same way if you watch Dutch's videos. You probably have been like, God damn, I got to grab my Manscaped and hit and whack away at that shit a little bit. With the holidays creeping up faster than your aunt's fruitcake recipe, I've got something way better to share with you. If you want to look sharp for all these festive gatherings that are coming up, maybe finally win the Best Groomed at the Family Dinner award, check out the latest masterpiece from Manscaped. They're always improving the products. One of the things I love, I turn around and I have another box at my door with a new incredible product. It's the Chairman Pro, okay? The Manscaped, the Chairman Pro. It's the electric foil shaver. Trust me, it's like Rudolph for the face, okay? Guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave. We've got you covered, as we always do. How about 20% off, motherfucker? And join the, giving you the opportunity to join over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And you just use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, to get that 20% off and free shipping. The Chairman Pro, what is it? It's armed with not one but two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. Think of them like you're a grooming superhero, perhaps. The skin-safe four-blade foil for when you want that baby's bottom totally smooth. That skin-safe stubble trimmer. If you want to keep some stubble, do the Don Johnson action, but just clean it up a little bit. You've got the skin-safe stubble trimmer, okay? So you can go either way. It's waterproof. Use it right in the shower. Everything you love about every other Manscaped product, we've never done you wrong with this, is present in the Chairman Pro. I love the little LED spotlight. Helps you see every little detail and make sure you miss nothing. Get the Chairman Pro today and experience a shave that's as smooth as you deserve. 20% off plus free shipping with the code KLIQ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping with the code KLIQ. Click at manscaped.com. Please do it. Get you 20% off, and for God's sakes, let them know we sent you. We've been loving on Manscaped for a long time. All right, all the appointments are beginning in the White House, Kevin. You have not been contacted thus far, as I understand.
No, I have not.
I just figured all of these that are being announced are entirely for shock value. Before qualification, first comes the shock value of the announcement. Always the booker, Mr. Trump. Always the wrestling booker. Matt Gaetz, of course, announced as Attorney General first. That seemed to have grabbed the most amount of headlines.
I thought it was kabuki-ish that he gave up his position as a congressman, and at the same time that halted the hearing that he had going on.
The ethics hearing, right?
Right.
Yeah, because he's no longer serving in Congress.
Right.
So you're not investigating a congressman, right?
Have you seen the thing on Instagram? It's a satellite picture of Florida, and it says if you turn it upside down, it looks like the Grinch. And it says, I did it, and I can't unsee it. Tell me that motherfucker doesn't look like the Grinch. Look at pull him back up.
Yeah,
He's so Grinchy.
it's just that he's the perfect. He could have a whole career as a movie villain in everything. I mean, he's the guy running the evil corporation. He's the despot taking over the country. Just look at the scowl, the eye. It's all in the eyebrows and that elfish mouth. I mean,
His dad was a senator down here for 10 years in Florida.
But nobody should have been surprised by this. I have a friend, Nick, a brilliant political philosopher, who said, why is anyone surprised? Caligula appointed his horse as a senator. This has been going on for a long time.
But don't you think that this is, if I was Donald Trump and I wanted to check the temperature of the water, I would put somebody this polarizing out to see how many people are going to fold
in Congress.
Yes, because this is, and I'll guarantee you, when it comes down to it, what do they have now? Are they ahead 4 seats?
Oh, in the House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Senate.
Well, they have both. So,
I know, but
did it end up being 4? They needed 2.
This is a Senate.
Let me look.
The Senate vets these people in. I mean, the House will
46.
too,
It's 6.
6.
Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah. So I think that it will be very difficult for him to not get in.
Yeah.
I know that I think there was 5 today that said they definitely wouldn't vote, but with Vance being having any tiebreaker, I don't see that.
You with your background, you probably had your eye on the Secretary of Defense appointee.
He's got a lot.
Hegseth.
He's gotten a lot of shit over the fact that he's a Fox correspondent. And it's just like,
he had credentials.
Yeah, the guy served in Afghanistan. He served in Iraq. I think he's got 2 Bronze Stars.
Yes.
He worked in counter terrorist insurgency. He worked. I remember that he was one of the, when he was working for Fox. He got that soldier that they were trying to court-martial, and he had killed a 17-year-old kid with a knife, which I'm not by any way saying that's. But Trump, not only did Trump pardon him and 2 other soldiers, but he gave that I think he was a SEAL. He gave that SEAL his rank back. I remember that being a big deal. And then when they sat down with the Navy SEAL and his wife, I think his father, he gave a shout out to the cat from Fox. So,
well, the knock is the correspondent thing. I mean, you got to understand, it's a lot of people when they leave positions, they get a talking head position on a show, and that's
right.
fine. I think the knock was that he's never had any senior military experience,
right? No,
or Defense Department experience. He's going to be running.
I look at it this way: can he do a worse job than Rumsfeld?
Oh, howling at the moon, Rumsfeld out in the woods.
Oh, you mean there are no
Turning
weapons
into
of
the
mass destruction 20 years later?
I think 2 wars he's got. There's 2 notches on Rumsfeld's belt, right?
So it's just like, I look at shit like that. I'm just like, I could see if it, I'm not too sure that Robert Kennedy's got too much. I haven't seen anybody call him Dr. Robert Kennedy Jr. So that's that might be a stretch,
but he's well fit for a man his age.
Hey man, TRT and diet. Try it, humans. Try it, everybody out there in America. Like Rachel Maddow was giving him shit today because he's on a little He's not jacked. He's not fucking bodybuilder jacked.
What'd she refer to it as? Did she call
Juiced,
it testosterone
I
or
think.
juice?
Yeah, he's all juiced.
She's afraid of his toxic masculinity, I think.
Just sometimes, man, that's why I'm a centralist, man. It's just,
Our party's going together.
I'm sorry, like you
way out in the fringe.
You couldn't put me in that position because I'm too much of a hawk. Like there were so many of my friends that
Secretary of Defense, you mean?
Yeah, I'm too much of a hawk.
Yeah, but I want that. But listen, in my Secretary of Defense, I don't want anyone that I would be friends with that has my value system.
Right.
War is a different animal altogether.
I never forgave Obama for changing the rules of engagement over there, which cost tons of our boys' lives.
Firing on an unarmed. What was?
Yeah. It was like for Taliban to fire at you, run around the corner and throw their fucking weapon in a barrel, and you couldn't return fire.
Right.
And then he, in Syria, he said, if put a line in the sand, and if you use gas, boy, shit's on. And they used gas, and nothing happened. I'm just like,
Now listen,
so
a hawkish Secretary of Defense is fine.
Yeah.
No one needs to be very nice at those times. We've talked about the conflicts going on now so many times. So he's inheriting a bit of a shitstorm there as far as
the what's her name that they're going to give the intelligence spot to?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, and she the from Hawaii. I saw a clip of her today saying that we need not be involved in this Ukraine Russia thing. This is 2 days after Russia had invaded, and not to put or consider Ukraine to be in the in NATO. And how would we feel if Russia put tanks and weaponry on the Mexican border? And I'm thinking, does this bitch not realize that like Finland has got a border to Russia with fucking arms and all kind of shit? Like,
well, Hegseth
obviously not.
Wasn't Hegseth,
but she did say aloha a couple of times, so that
that's good. I wonder if she's going to have a discussion with Hegseth about when she'll be in intelligence, he'll be in defense, so they'll be speaking a lot. If they're going to talk about the women in combat issue,
well,
she's a veteran.
Her biggest position is, and she's never been in combat. She's I think she was in the closest she was maybe like military police. She's the one that puts together what President Trump gets in his briefing on a daily basis. That's well known that he doesn't read anyway.
Correct.
But I mean, if he did want to, then it would be whatever she decided,
Right.
I just report what I hear. At this point, everybody thinks that, there's going to be a Third Reich and all this shit. And it's just like, for God's sake, man, I watched Trump sit there with Biden and be a complete gentleman. I'm only going on what I see, not on hearsay and other bullshit. So,
well, but I think it's not like you can just have blind faith because we lived through a Trump presidency, right? So I think the critics are basing criticism on.
But we also heard him for 18 months saying, Hillary, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up. And then when she conceded and he won, I don't remember Hillary Clinton being locked up. I don't remember her even being like persecuted. So it's like, come on, can we just take a little bit of a chill pill?
All right, well, we will see what happens, of course. I was also similarly encouraged. I have a little of the RFK today, by the way. I was similarly encouraged by
Tamara's got a little going today.
Well, on the boats, you're around
Yeah, but
a
I told
massive
her,
humanity.
she said last night, she goes, I think I've got something in my chest. I should probably take Mucinex tomorrow. I said, as opposed to tonight?
Oh,
She goes,
sake.
she hates
was that
taking
all about?
medicine. And like then what my friend Peggy was over the other night. Peggy and Lois were over, and I've got those beads that make you stop coughing. I don't know what they're called. It starts with a D. It's some fucking pill.
Not the anal beads you were telling me about.
No,
That's
these
not
are
right.
it's like a little, it looks like almost like a vitamin E capsule, but they're really small. They're little round tablets, and they stop you from coughing. And I told her, I said, I have some of these gimmicks if you want them. She said, well, what's the dose? I said, you can take 3 a day. And she said, so, okay, well, give me one. I said, no, you got to take 2. She says, why do I have to take 2? I said, well, that's wrestling dosage. You always got to double it up. Like wrestlers, that's wrestlers dosage. So she listened. She took 2 and she didn't cough during the whole Lions game.
Look at that.
So
you're able to watch it in her company because
yeah.
the commentary wasn't being disturbed. All right, some feedback from previous episodes.
How about them fucking Lions, huh?
Dude, I mean, it's looking pretty sweet. They're
yeah. And we got Jacksonville. This is the perfect time. Lawrence is out, and we have Jacksonville. So it's just like, ugh.
Yeah,
I saw early with like 7.5
nicely,
points.
with the line, with the betting line every week.
Yeah, is this what's it at now? Do we know?
You know, I didn't even look.
It was at 7.5, like after the game.
Let's see.
On Sonntag.
Steve, if you get it before me, for God's sake.
Sonntag.
Lions game. All right, here we go. 14? Oh, because of the quarterback announcement that he's not going to be back, probably. That's why it jumped.
Fuck, 14's a lot.
That's a lot of points.
I took Denver +9 against Kansas. Yeah. Yeah, but I took Denver +9 against Kansas City, and Kansas City won, I think, 16-14.
Well, I mean, DraftKings.
I took Mississippi. I took Mississippi State +25.5 and sweated it out against Tennessee.
You did. You went. You ran the table, didn't you, this weekend?
Yeah,
in college.
I killed. What game did I lose? Oh, I lost a pro game.
You won Tennessee.
I lost the Baltimore Ravens game.
Huh. So were you 5-1?
Yeah, I was 5-1.
Like that. That's amazing. Aaron Carter, I could listen to you guys read the encyclopedia and be entertained. Love the podcast, boys. But yeah, Taker and Kliq This, no brainer. Sounds badass. Now, Mark's podcast replied to our discussion of this with a, like, let's make it happen or something like that. Steve, if you can find it, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get healthy first.
No, you don't have to fly yet.
Yeah, no, but just having some good news today and knowing I can train tomorrow is just like, ugh.
Oh, it was a DM, I guess, from his show. Make it happen. All right. Stay tuned, guys.
We ain't going nowhere.
It's like the two wrestling podcast powerhouses coming together. It's like an AWA and NWA card circa 1981. What was that joint promotion called? Pro Wrestling USA. I was fascinated by the failure of that. Chimp1 says only 3 wrestling podcasts matter. Jim Cornette, Kliq This, and There's No Contest. You didn't rank them, though, Chimp, but thank you for putting us in good company.
Thanks. I'll take any mentions. Nice.
Germinator said, just the show we all needed this week. I think there was a lot of positive, I saw positive feedback to how we handled the election. I know.
Well, there's a
lot of people that would like to gloat and just like knock your dick in the dirt and watch you roll around and cry. But those tools are not who I'm talking about.
This is one thing I was saying. I was talking to a friend of mine when Tamara went on the boat Friday night. Because I didn't travel. I went up to a little local restaurant and had dinner by myself. And the owner, Chris, is a friend of mine. He sat down with me and we were talking. And he was just, I said, well, yeah, because he's a Democrat. And I said, how do you feel? He goes, fuck it. I said, yeah, me too. I said, I think that one of the reasons that my philosophy just is the way it is because I played sports, and not individual sports, but team sports. And when you play team sports, there's always going to be that weakest link on the team that's going to cost you a game. And you can't fucking go over and smack the fuck out of them. You got to be a good teammate and say, don't worry about it. We'll get them next time. And I think that so many people, it was like when the Lions kicked that field goal, like in their minds, they right now they envision the Houston fucking Texans all just sitting around the fucking 30-yard line, holding their helmets still in their gear, not being able to let it go. It's like, fuck, you win, you lose, that's just the way it is. I had my reasons. I mean, there's so many people that, and I was watching today, and that this guy used the term hate twice on television. I told my wife, I said, man, that's so fucking strong to say, I hate this person, or he's hated, And I think it was about Gaetz. They were talking about like so many people hate him. I said, people don't walk around and tell each other, I fucking hate that person. They might say he's not qualified. I don't care for him. Like, people would always say, you hate Trump. I would always say, I've never met the guy. Like, I can't hate anybody that I said, I don't prefer him or his politics,
Well, that was always historically what you based it on. But now in the cult of personality, to steal a quote, of politics, you get to hear things like the hidden microphone, grab him by the, we get to see a little more.
Yeah, because you know what? He's the only guy ever to fucking be rude and crude.
I'm saying that's what they're basing it on, not policy necessarily, but the
but I know that. But I'm just saying that's so. Again, fucking don't. Everybody played sports and has been in the locker room their entire life. They just it's just it's almost like it's like a skit. It's like stand up. It's like you're doing a bit when you're in the locker room. You would never come. That's why I always said, keep my wife off the pirate ship.
Right. That's a famous quote of yours. But they can party on the pirate ship, right? So you keep separation.
If you're stupid enough to bring your wife on the party ship, then somebody probably will grab her pussy.
And probably after, what's funny about that though? The guys that bring their wives into the business, forget about take your wife on the road for a weekend, like Kevin and Nancy Sullivan. Like, is there? It's hard enough when you work in that business to keep a marriage going.
Didn't they meet in the business though?
I don't think Nancy was in the business before being with Kevin and Mark Lewin. This is a question for Meltzer, clearly, but I feel like he brought her into the business.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's challenging.
Yeah. You've got to really, especially if you've had any time in the business and know how rough, especially that era, the travel was. But Florida was kind of a party.
Mm-hmm. She was a model. That's what it was. And during a photo shoot, she met Kevin, who convinced her to be part of the entourage. Yeah, so he brought her in. And she made her in-ring debut in 1984 in Florida.
I remember when she managed Doom.
Yes.
Butch and Ronnie.
Yeah.
That was when I was a mark in Atlanta. I'd go to the Omni and watch NWA.
Right.
There were some great tag teams back then.
She was so well loved by everybody that I've ever talked to in the business. Just a really...
she didn't take no shit.
No, she didn't. She carried a fucking blade, which she probably never had to use. But yeah, she
wasn't like Kevin
well.
took. Wasn't like Kevin took any shit either.
No, I'm sure not. But I mean, I knew him in the chill days, the very mellow, maybe even the Get Blitzed days, you might want to call it. When Kevin.
Well, I knew him in '90, and he was getting blitzed then. So.
Okay. And if you want to get blitzed too, we're talking nano-infused Delta-9 THC sipping syrup, which is brought to you by our friends Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney and their Get Blitzed Lit Aid. It's a syrup. It's a syrup. You just take a teaspoon, at most a teaspoon, and stir it in your beverage of choice. Flavored THC Delta-9 sipping syrup. And fast onset, nano-infused, by the way, means that it's a fast onset because it's going to go right into your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver. If you're in Maryland, you can do this at a Stay Lit smoke shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card, as long as you're over 21. Right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ at checkout at get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com to try the THC Delta-9 Sippin' Syrup Lit Aid. Now, if you do this, you're going to have an opportunity now to get the limited edition can. This is before we go to market with the new can for the Kliq This seltzer. Okay, 2 bottles in your order of the Sippin' Syrup get you 1 bottle of the limited edition Kliq This can of the THC Lit Aid seltzer. It's almost like a soda. It's so delicious. Just let them know in the notes if you want Kev's Key Lime or Sean's Blue Raz. Guys, if you order more than $200 at the website, you're getting 2 cans, 1 flavor of each. So run over there and get that 15% off by using the code KLIQ at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com.
I got blitzed around 2:00 Saturday watching college football.
You had a beverage?
Yeah.
I'm out. I told Mickey, you got to get me another case. I ripped through 2 cases.
I gotta get one of my buddies. I hooked him up on it, and then anytime he'll come over and he wanted some like about 2 weeks ago, and he said, "You're out?" I said, "Yeah." I said, I've still got some cans in the in the fridge, and he said, no, he said, I have some. So he brought me up.
He hooked you up,
and I hooked it because he does key lime, so it's perfect.
You know, I know a guy that he actually sent a testimonial to us that he's a veteran, one of our warriors, and a little bit of the PTSD after combat, and he said he's tried a bunch of stuff. That beverage, he said, relaxed him, took away the nervousness, just enough to get down to like functional operational status. So He hit me up. He was like, oh, where's some more of this? So Nuno, it's coming. We got you covered, and I just thought it was a great testimonial. I texted Mickey. Right, Mickey, if you haven't reached out to him, would you reach out to him already?
There's nobody that I've turned on to that wasn't like, what? Like, how's that possible? Like, how did I not know? I'm like,
right. Oh, this is gonna blow up. I can't wait till it's in. There's a chain, liquor chain store.
It'll be an ABC.
So very excited, and
or is it Total
Wines,
Wine?
I think Total.
Is it Total Wine? Yeah, it's gonna be in Total Wine down in Florida.
Yeah. So tremendous. Thank you, Mickey. Fernham Schnavitz III Jr., by the way, Says, I got to say that normally watching or listening to a show, I'll fast forward through ad reads. With you guys, I listened the whole time. That Tushy ad read was so funny when Kevin said it's only for people who poop. Just perfect. That's why the advertisers love us, because it's part of the show, man. And it's what it is. If we were sitting at the bar, I would turn to Kevin and say, hey, have you tried to get Blitzed Key Lime?
We have good
great products.
Yeah, it's tremendous. I mean, I had the Wally Walrus today when I got up this morning. I looked and I said, man, I took my shower, and when you get old, man, your skin gets so fucking dry. So I didn't want to go looking like the White Rhino. So I put my lotion on, and I looked, and I put lotion on my face right here, and then like right up in my nose was like a hunk of lotion. I'm like, so I touched, I said, what the fuck? I looked at it, I went, oh, it's because I got fucking tusks hanging out of my nose, my hair. And I swear to God, man, I took that fucking, the nose trimmer, and it was like, something like it was out edging the house. I was just like, wow. I tell you, man, there is something about getting, if my fucking phone goes off, and it's got a 6.
Oh, to get up at 6.
Oh yeah, my! No, and then I saw you had text me at like 5:37.
Yeah, starting my day.
I'm like, motherfucker, man. I said he's already been up for fucking 28 minutes. Like, oh.
So you're doing the Sean
like,
tonight.
You're on
the
like fucking. You're like on fucking Riker Island time.
Exactly. The clanging of the cells. It gets me up.
I can't do that shit, man. I've never. You
did it for 20 years, getting on planes at fucking 6 in the morning.
Yeah, with sunglasses on, and we ain't been to bed yet.
Oh, right. That's true. That's one way to do
it. Yeah. Fuck, man. The only way you can't miss the only way that you can't not sleep and miss your flight is not sleep.
Right.
So that was Scott and I would always look at each other. I remember when we first met Snuka, and he'd always have sunglasses on. We'd be, what the fuck's his deal, man? It'd be dark out. By the time you got on that plane, got through everything, and after you'd fucking take off, you'd get above those clouds, and that fucking sun would come in that fucking, you'd be like, oh, fuck. Snook would be over there fucking snoring with fucking sunglasses on.
Well, Jimmy also had a tolerance for the THC like no one I've heard. One of my favorite stories I got to recreate in Todd.
I don't know. The King of Pot's pretty good.
The King of Pot's a good story, too, from Sean.
Fucking Sean Waltman is the King of Pot. He said, I'll never forget when we were somewhere.
Mexico, wasn't it?
No, but we were down in doing TV in Orlando, and we were with all like Conan and all the crew, and Conan asked me, he said, hey, Pac, you got any fucking smoke? And Kid pulls out a fucking like this size mason jar full of fucking buds out of his bag.
You're going to be referred to, and the story was they had to say King of Pot before you got it, when they were passing it down.
King of Pot.
That's back before all this was legal, in the silly days when people feared it. Let's see. We still have people here. Classic Retros 23. I'm a big Tyson fan, but Ali would have destroyed Tyson. Holyfield gave him such a hard time. So just imagine how worse
different
it would
era
have been for Ali.
Different era, and Holyfield didn't fight Tyson in his prime. 20-year-old Mike Tyson, I don't think anybody beats him. That's just me personally.
But when you say different era, stylistically with the heavyweights, I mean, what was the difference?
He was so much better. Tyson was so much better footwork wise gifted than like Ernie Shavers, and had he was just a much better boxer and Ernie Shavers was feared by all those guys in Ali's crew. I just think that Mike Tyson is in his prime, was just. I'm looking so forward to watching. I just pray that it's not if it's a fucking work. I mean, I would never bet, but I'll definitely watch it. I saw a thing today, a young black girl, she was probably maybe 11, and she was interviewing Mike, and she said, like, thank you so much for coming back and letting us, see you and increasing your legacy. And he said, man, I don't buy that legacy bullshit, man. I said, that ain't nothing but fucking ego. And I was just like, that's why I love Mike Tyson. It's a real motherfucker, man.
Yeah. But now you alluded to the possibility of it being a work. You think Mike would go along with that? Logan Paul, who knows?
Mike don't give a fuck, man.
Jake Paul.
I think he's in a place in his life where I see it going a split, this like a fucking tie to get another one.
One of those deals.
But I watched a really interesting clip, and it was Jones.
Roy Jones?
Who fought him, yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, dude, he said, the first time Mike hit me in the fucking chest, he said, fuck. Like, he said, man, he said, like, that, and I think they had, like, so, like, he said, Mike could have basically, like, we had an understanding, but he said, Mike could have killed me anytime he wanted to. And that's Jones, man.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, probably one of the greatest fucking top 5 fighters of all time.
Yeah.
So.
You have a prediction? 2-minute rounds. What are the gloves? 14 ounce?
14 ounce gloves. I can't see fucking Tyson having any nerves. And I could see Paul having nerves. I don't know it's still not, I thought that the bare knuckle fucking guy would give Paul a lot. I think Paul's very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think that his footwork's gotten much better. There was a lot of times he was leaning in, and I would watch earlier. He would lean in, lean really in forward, especially like following a jab with a power shot. So I'll enjoy it just because. I enjoy watching pro wrestling, and this will work. So what the fuck? Yeah. Like this if it's the ultimate work, it's still a great storyline. Mm-hmm.
What's the payday? Paul at 40 million, Tyson at 20, I think. I think it's 40 and 20. And I think Mike's definitely the baby face in this one, right?
Yeah.
The world will get behind Mike at age 58, I think.
I think that Paul he was like the first YouTuber. Like
influencer.
Way before his brother. Like he took this shit to a different level, so he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I say, you've got your own promotion.
Right.
I don't know how much is Jake worth. Is he worth more than Logan? Because Logan was, I think when we looked it up, Logan was worth 50. 150. So I don't know what Jake's worth.
80.
80.
If this is accurate. You know how this goes. They had you driving a lot of strange cars on some of these websites.
That was the thing that
Kevin Nash net worth.
With as I drive my Ferrari that I can't get my cock
exactly.
that I can't get my cock in. You don't know. I mean, it's not like he's got a bank account that says Jake Paul. You know, he's got fucking S corps and LLCs, and he's down there in Puerto Rico where he's got all kind of tax breaks, and those two fucking kids aren't no fucking dummies.
This will be at the Cowboys.
And he's got, what's he got now? Deodorant out. It's like H or something like that. And Prime is still, I mean, that's still the drink of the WWE.
Yeah.
So
that's that. Now I know if you guys are listening, that'll be it's tomorrow for us right now. If you're listening Monday, you have your results already. So we're just
so
we're anticipating.
It's kind of a fucked up place to be, but you know, you can I mean, it's just people. I mean, what's the difference, right?
Yeah, it's it bees what it bees. But what's the deodorant H? Did you say?
I think that's what it's called.
Okay, with you got the sports drink, you got the deodorant. Listen, that you can talk about H all you want. It doesn't come close to what Mando is going to do for you. He can have all the deodorants
you can say I mean, Mando's a household name.
Absolutely, and I'm loving my pack. You know, it's really funny. So I have the pack here, the wipes, the roll-on, the cream, the whole deal. The spray, I love that with the multi-opposable 360-degree jam. You can hit every nook and cranny. You don't have to worry about keeping the can upright. I get down to Florida. They had errantly, and I suspected this was the case because it took me a while to get my Mando. One time I was down there and I needed something sent down there. So that advertising agency had my old address. I had a Mando kit waiting for me down there, which was tremendous. So what are we talking about here with Mando, guys? Mando is the 2.0 for whole body odor control for us mans, okay?
72 hours.
72 hours, and it's not just a cover. It's not it's not just like a deodorant where it goes over and tries to mask a smell. This goes to work to defeat odor at the source for 72 hours.
You can take 2 Cialises and be perfect on the 72 hour, so you're not going to be funky with the 72 hours of 2 Cialises. Boom.
Right, and we can tie all of our products and have the perfect day. And that would be and
Cialis is we have that covered by BLUECHEW.
By BLUECHEW, exactly. The whole body deodorant means everywhere. Use it everywhere. Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet. Created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Okay, clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Okay, solid deodorant stick, spray deodorant, which I'm loving right now. They're aluminum free. Baking soda free, paraben free, and the great scents like bourbon leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. Okay,
Pro Sport's my new favorite.
That's the blue one that I have. Yes,
yeah, that's my new favorite.
Clinically proven to control odor better than just a shower and soap. Okay, 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor is hitting about a 5 out of 10. Mando average grundle odor 0 out of 10. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the starter pack, perfect for new customers. Okay. Comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash, deodorant wipes. I recommend both of those when you make your choice. And free shipping, okay? So as a special offer for our listeners, new customers are going to get $5 off that starter pack with our exclusive code. By the way, that accounts to about 40% off the starter pack, okay? So use the code Kliq, KLIQ, at shopmando.com, SHOPMANDO.com, shopmando. And please let them know we sent you by using that code KLIQ. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with the Mando.
Kind of got like a little bit of a wolf pack gimmick going there. little kind of a wolf on there.
The logo, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So,
Steve-O, yes, absolutely. On the for tomorrow.
And thank you, by the way, for the segue into the by knowing the Paul deodorant that I could drop.
I think that's what it is. I don't know.
Works either way. Anyone wants to join us here for the live tapings? We have people watching live. They're going to ask questions. They were part of the pregame show, which is a lot of fun. And you'll get to be here for live tapings. And then it sits in your feed at kliqthistv.com without ads. So you get to watch ad-free. So, Kev, I watched Raw.
I watched Raw.
I was very curious. I was most curious as they went to the 2-hour format. Because when we first heard the announcement, we speculated on it. You know, that it's such an abundant talent roster, and going to cutting your show, your flagship show, by 1/3 is significant. Will they have
that
time?
opening? But I think that opening segment at times would go 25, 28 minutes. I want to think that opening segment with Gunther and Damian went more 16-ish.
Okay, so being able to trim
the
regular segment length.
I'm still waiting for somebody to just during that format, because even Gunther, he went out there and was starting his promo, and then he knew that Damian was coming out, and he just instinctually turned to the fucking rampway and cut his promo. Knowing that he was going to come out, which he did.
Right.
And then Damian said, don't be surprised that I'm out here, because it was advertised that you were going to talk shit about me. I'm like, no, motherfucker, he ain't surprised. You guys went through this 3 times. He's so fucking properly conditioned. He's already looking up the fucking ramp.
Looking at the ramp.
But and you know what? I really I thought about it with Cody beating Gunther over in Saudi Arabia, and it's like, what a great, you lose, they kind of just underneath the fucking rug real quick say, and it had been over 200 days since he'd lost, and he lost to Cody Rhodes, but it was just for this belt that fucking lays over there and looks really fucking pretty. I think they used it on the set of Wicked, and it's like it didn't hurt him. He came out. He was, he's still the heavyweight champion. It's like,
I want to ask you.
Pretty fucking smart shit them boys do over at that WWE.
Over at that there WWE company, that little company.
You gotta watch out, Moxley. You start cutting promos and fucking that fucking vacant fucking hangar that you fucking cut. Somebody will tell you to shut up and go join Reigns.
And it make it into the mic.
God damn! I thought to myself, like, fuck, Moxley's cutting a pretty good promo. Let him go.
Take an angle like the Bloodline, Kev, right? Which, I mean, they got a lot of juice out of this, right? Yeah. So with less TV time, how do you handle, how do you make it efficient, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, we're going to War Games. So, and they beat down Roman, which people didn't expect, that it beat down and beat Roman. So now you're going into War Games, and Sammy, jumped ship and helped Roman out. So, but they're down a guy. So, and anybody that watched Raw, in this segment, Sammy asks Seth, after the Bronson Reed schmaz, which I didn't like. I didn't like Reed cutting a promo. I didn't. It was, and I will give him kudos, because when he first started talking, he was just going to talk in his normal in his normal deal,
Mhm.
but he heard like a what start,
Oh,
and he said, "Fuck that!" And man, he tightened that shit up and rattled it, and I was impressed by that because he didn't, See, I always wanted to be able, because I hated that what thing.
right.
Because I'm not, I always like Scott talk like this, I talk like
Right.
this. So you can throw what's in all night long. I just always wanted to say, every time they say what, I'd say, deaf guy blew me last night. What? I said a deaf guy blew me last night. What? Exactly. Like, fuck,
good.
uncle.
Very good.
But so Sammy asked Seth if he'll join,
Mhm.
and I thought that would be the tease. I didn't think that right there that fucking Seth would say, "No, I'm not. I'll never wrestle with him again."
Cut the segment.
Yeah, boom.
With him thinking
And
or staring
yeah,
at him.
I would have.
Right.
I would have. Yeah, because but I didn't know what the payday would be later. And then he came out and he got asked by the Bloodline. He says, "No, man." He said, "I'm not going to fucking team up with a Roman Reigns wannabe." So that tells me next week, because they've already put the graphic together, that Seth is gonna wrestle Roman or Bronson Reed, and in that, because he dissed the Bloodline, they're going to come down, and I think that Roman and his crew will come down, and if I was booking it, I would do the old school schmaz, 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 schmaz. Is Seth getting up after taking a beating with the cavalry coming? They fucking bump into each other, turn around, and there's Roman and there's Seth.
Okay, good. Right.
I think that would be, and then fucking man, that'll be that moment of whatever they want to do right there. But if they did the fucking the ding ding with the Rocky where they both they threw at the same time and they went off the air, could you imagine that? Save it for Netflix. But and then the other matchup was it was kind of a coffee pot, the Bronson versus Sheamus, which is kind of a coffee pot. The only thing I didn't like was Bronson called him old. And one thing you learn when you're young in the business is never call an old timer, because when that old fucker beats you, he's gonna say, "Yeah," and this old motherfucker
makes you look like shit. Exactly.
Right. Never downgrade your opponent.
What's Heyman's involvement? Has he just played out, or
I
is it because we
haven't
saw the socks? Maybe we can't deal with it anymore.
I don't know. I looked at Bronson because Bronson's he's gotten over. He's kind of like the killer heel. He would have, but I guess it's like Paul's too valuable to that other storyline to put Paul someplace.
Yeah.
Just to put Paul someplace. So, that would be a really good. I forget what his name is. Is it Robert Stone on the other program? Is that who's
On
NXT?
NXT.
Is that Robert? Is it Robert? Is that his new name? It's Robert Stone now, but he used to be. What was it, Steve? What was his name when he went before he was Robert Stone? He dated.
Oh, Strauss. I know him.
Yeah, but
what did he work as? I knew him when he was doing his.
He's always had a real great body.
Yeah.
He dated Teschmacher.
Brooke.
Yeah, I dated Brooke. I always thought she was fucking. God, she was.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. He's a Jersey guy.
What was his?
Where's he born?
What was his name?
Seaside.
Robbie E. Yeah,
Robbie
Robbie
E. He was
E.
doing the Jersey Shore gimmick at the time.
I've worked some indies with him. He's always a night off, but he's just a good fucking guy.
Yeah.
I would put him with. He would be good with Bronson right now. bring him in into that fold.
Mm.
Just a thought. Not trying to push my weight around.
Well, we'll see what happens after this airs.
Well,
Sometimes some waves, when you throw the ripple, sometimes it makes it to the middle of the lake. Sometimes. I don't know why. Maybe you have a friend.
Sometimes if I can throw a brick and it goes right in the mud.
Sometimes.
No,
We'll
you can't watch TV and not book it. Like book shit coming out of it,
Yeah.
Like when like I always like to see the little things where it's like production. Like there was a couple like the one guy that was wrestling Kofi,
Mm-hmm.
like he fucking threw a strike, like a forearm strike,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good. And but then he heard the response of the crowd, and then he threw like 7 of them, and each one was off by like a half a foot. And it was like, and then the same thing happened when Damian wrestled later on against Gunther's fucking buddy, and he bent Damian over, and instead of giving him a fucking like one hard fucking shot across the back and letting him fucking sell it, and then as he fucking he just went like wham, like, and they looked like shit. And it's just like, man, take your fucking, I'll never forget this as long as I live. It's an old cage match. It's Stan Hansen versus Brody. Stan's got the fucking bleach blonde hair, and fucking Brody picks up Hansen at the beginning of the match and slams him. And the only thing that's touching after fucking Stan sells the fucking slam is the back of his head and his heels. His back is that arched.
Mm.
And it's just, and he got fucking 35, 40 seconds out of that. And I'm thinking, that's the beauty. That's how you work.
Mm.
You don't fucking give the guy 13 slams. You fucking give the guy 1 slam, let him sell him, and it gets to his feet, then give him another one. And then cover him.
Right.
It's like, not you're not going to cover him in a cage, of course. But I mean, but it's the little tiny things.
Yeah, well, that's why they need the veterans showing them what to do. The legends.
And Jade now has a like kind of a little bit of a super kick that she uses.
We can always check in on Jade by asking Kevin.
Yes,
always keeps a very close eye on Jade.
Yes, fellow basketball player, Jacksonville.
That's the reason.
That's what it is. It's just nothing but
pure
hoop dreams.
Right.
She's married with a child.
Oh,
I'm married. I'm married. No, she's just
someone.
fucking. She's hot, man. She's a really attractive woman. And but there was a thing at the end. The girls had there was a tag championship match,
mm-hmm.
and Nia Jax came down and picked up Jade, like looking dead at the hard camera, and picked her up for a Samoan drop. And when Nia dropped her, I swear she dropped her about that far. Like,
she sell at least?
No, it was almost like, and Nia knew. I think Nia knew it was a wet fart because I think Nia grabbed her by her legs.
All right, good, saved it. Good.
They kind of, well, I wouldn't say they saved it, but I mean they didn't. Jade definitely didn't sell like fucking it was anything of significance.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought she was going to give it to her on the floor, like turn and fucking give it to her on the floor, and then she took it and just gave her on the apron. I was just like, okay.
So, all All right, so we both got Raw in. It's been a
we
while.
get Raw
There's
this
been a
week.
lot of stuff going on.
Well,
so
we're done with the politics, so we have to go. I mean, it's time to talk a little bread and butter. So
we're done with the election.
Well, I mean,
things may get more interesting in a couple of months.
But to me, it's just like right now they're putting up the tents, they're driving the stakes. Like, you know, the circus isn't in town yet.
That's not here yet. Okay.
Yeah, not till the
I don't mind
20th.
a little break from politics, mind you. Like I think
I don't
there's
either.
a lot of places we can go here.
My wife went on that fucking cruise, and I said, what was the highlight? She said, not watching TV.
Yeah, so
I
true.
said, God bless you.
So true. All right, it's time for Dear Sexy. 2 actual letters formerly sent to Dear Abby, but what if Kevin Nash were the one that these folks came
Grabbed
to
by the pussy
for advice? That would be the advice. This week's segment, by the way, brought to us by our great friends at BLUECHEW. They say first impressions are important. What about lasting impressions, huh? Well, let's talk about BLUECHEW then.
Excuse me, ma'am, do you have 36 hours to spare?
Exactly. Long, strong, and down to get the friction on. It helps men have longer lasting and stronger erections. You can perform at your very best. BLUECHEW is an online service, okay? They deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, and brother, they work. Fraction of the cost and in chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BLUECHEW.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you get the prescription within days. Best part, it's all done online. There's no visits to the doctor, no conversations at the pharmacy. No standing like, Mr. Nash, your pills are here. We don't need that. This is all done online, shipped to your house right away in discreet
Does
packaging.
Abner fucking work at your
Yes,
pharmacy?
a little Jerry Lewis, a little Bill Apter. Take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead. Be ready whenever the opportunity arises. Please never reference Bill Apter while we're talking about erections. Does it work? Well,
This
just
is like Bob Dole.
Some of the testimonials that are on our websites. BLUECHEW just wants you to have confidence to perform at your very best. So go discover your options at BLUECHEW.com. And of course, we've got a special deal. How about trying BLUECHEW for free when you use the promo code NASH? No joke. At checkout, just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUECHEW.com, promo code NASH, to receive your first month free, for God's sakes. BLUECHEW.com. Visit BLUECHEW.com for more details and important safety information.
I always have to toss in that this,
or toss off.
Yeah, exactly. This product is designed to be chewed, which is going to be the quickest way that you're going to get the effects of this performance enhancing drug. So
into the bloodstream and down to where it's got to be.
Into the toolbox.
Yeah.
So just remember that it's called BLUECHEW for a reason.
Yeah.
You chew that bitch and it pops in much, much faster.
And it's body friendly, guys. This, for anyone who's never taken a performance enhancing substance, it's not like you're walking around with wood for 6 hours. You need the stimulation of what would normally be happening. It's just the instantaneousness of it and the thoroughness, the rigidity is remarkable.
It's not like if the shower head doesn't, it hits the mushroom for a little while. You got one in your system. Yeah, you might get a little bit more reaction than if you hadn't chewed one up.
But you need the stim. You need the stim. So go visit BLUECHEW and please use the code and get a month free.
You call that trolling. You take a BLUECHEW, you take the hot shower, give it a little flufferino, see if you can't get some action.
Very good.
Especially in prison. What the hell?
The Nicaraguan prison? Dear Sexy, my mother and stepfather would love to be the guardians of my children. My children adore them both. The problem is my mother has a drinking problem. She never drinks during the day or even every day. However, she entertains a lot, and when she does, she often drinks too much and becomes loud and slurry. I consider her to be a binge alcoholic and can recall incidents of her being drunk since I was 7. Now that I am free of these substances, I don't know if I should approach my mother about this issue. Should I tell her that I don't want my children growing up in a household where alcohol is used irresponsibly and give her a chance to clean up her act and quit? Or should I just not mention it not mention that I have selected someone else in my will to become my children's guardian, and let it be a surprise should the occasion arise. That's from Stacking the Odds in Oregon.
No, because substance abuse needs to be addressed, especially if this is your mother. For God's sake, it should be someone that you love and have and you adore. And if they have a problem, it should be addressed. And it shouldn't be tied into whether or not she's going to watch your kids. It should be for. I mean, she's definitely older. It's not. I definitely make sure she's getting her blood work done. See what her liver enzymes are.
Okay,
I mean,
that's true.
people have no idea, and if she's getting, all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's menopause. No, it's not menopause. It's that fucking bottle of barefoot shitty Chablis you fucking pound 3 nights a week. Like, no, man. So I would definitely smarten your mom up and say, Mom, you got a problem.
Irrespective of the kids.
And that's one of the reasons that you're not going to be the guardian of that's just one of the reasons.
Okay.
So
very good. Let's do one more letter. Dear Sexy, every year our family gathers at the home of Aunt Dottie and Uncle Joe for Christmas dinner. This includes us, our parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and their children. Aunt Dottie and Uncle Joe used to charge only the adults. The children ate free. And the adults also brought along bottles of alcohol. Now the charge is per person, and everyone pays. Sexy, we have no choice in the menu. Aunt Dottie and Uncle Joe plan the meal. If they serve something we don't like, or if we can't stay for the whole meal, don't you think we should get at least a partial refund? Shouldn't we have a say in the menu since we pay for our meals? They don't need the money, but they never offer a refund if we eat little or leave early. I think a much better plan would be for all of us to meet in a restaurant for Christmas dinner so we have a choice. What do you think? That's from Fed Up in New Jersey.
Yeah, I would probably get with if everybody else is in the same boat and they're fed up, I would go ahead and let them put the whole spread out
And not go.
and then tell them what restaurants you're at. And by the way, Dottie and Joe, there's two fucking chairs sitting empty for you.
Who the fuck charges there? The whole time I'm reading this, I'm going, where the fuck is this? It's in New Jersey.
I would just tell them, fuck off.
They've been paying for years.
Well, I've never.
Have you ever been to a family function where you were handed a bill?
No.
It's outrageous. These motherfuckers.
I mean, that would get pulled one time.
That's all it would take.
But by the time I was backing down the driveway of their fucking crib, I'd be like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. And then I would invite them over for something, and just, I mean, say, hey man, don't worry, I'm not going to charge you. But for parties of 2 and more, there is $100 gratuity. So
included.
Yeah. So you owe me a
card at the door.
Yeah, you owe me a C note.
Oh my God.
There's all the fucking Milwaukee's. There's all the Milwaukee's best you want in the refrigerator out in the garage.
Checking the mail. I would make it so obnoxious, my presence there, that I just wouldn't be asked back.
I definitely that's when you do the fucking upper decker.
Right in the bowl, right? Right in the tank, right?
Yeah, right in the tank. Leave that turd right in that tank.
Yep.
That way, every time they flush, they go like, where's this shit coming from? It's in your tank, sweetheart.
I'd begin to be critical of the meal, about the content. I'd pull out my Lumen, and I would take.
You're too fucking. You're overloading me with carbs.
Exactly, right? I would take what the hell is Lumen? Let's just get this straight out of the way before we go further to see how we're going to handle Aunt Dottie. This is the world's first handheld metabolic coach, right here, right next to Frank. Frank, take some. Go ahead. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. Okay, anyone can do this. On the app, which correlates to your lumen, it lets you know, are you burning fat, carbs, and in what percentage of each, so you can plan where you're going to go with your day. First thing in the morning, you get up, you blow right into your lumen. It takes the measurement. It shows up instantly on the app. This is amazing. With the holidays around the corner, this is a great gift, but also to go to Aunt Dottie and Uncle Joe's and monitor your metabolism while you eat your face off and you're about to get hit with a $50 bill. All you got to do is get up first thing in the morning, breathe into it, and you'll know where you're going to go for your day. Guess what? Lumen then gives you a personalized nutrition plan for the day based on those measurements. And listen, those measurements can change through the day, depending on your activity and what you're eating. So you can continue to take your measurements. Hey, how about before and after a workout to see what effect that had, and plan your meals accordingly. Guys, metabolism is your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going. Because it's the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, even better sleep. Okay, so we want you guys to get in on this, and we've hooked you up again. We want you to stay on track and stay healthy this holiday season. So go to lumen, LUMEN.me, ME/Kliq, KLIQ. You're going to get 15% off your lumen. That's LUMEN.me/KLIQ, Kliq, for 15% off your purchase. Don't forget, Lumen makes a great gift, too, for the person in your life that you're eating with. So thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah, if you're going to be charged, you might as well be optimally metabolically.
At least make sure the food. All right, Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast, back in full effect and in our true classic garb. Guys, we're talking best-selling T-shirts, hoodies, jeans, and more in 3, 6, and 9 packs. And the feel, I see there's stuff popping up all over the place on my Instagram, my socials, about men's clothing, right? They get our demographic, they drop this stuff. The feel of a true classic shirt. So soft. Even the joggers. I rub my thighs excessively when I wear them. And if I happen to have popped a BLUECHEW, things start to happen. True classic, premium products at affordable prices. And guys, they're made for us. Okay, so it's shirts that define your best features with a perfect fit. Snug in the arms and chest with just the right amount of room in the midsection. Fall and winter must-haves. I'm going to give you the tip right now. The long sleeve Henley, you can see it on the bottom there. Waffle hoodies, jeans, button-ups, joggers, and more. They're moisture wicking, quick dry, odor control for your active wear. And guys, they have the colors, different cuts, different fits. Just mix and match the clothing. You can build your whole damn wardrobe at True Classic if you're a dude like me. Trusted by over 4 million customers, 200,000 positive reviews. Okay, that can't be wrong. Ultra comfortable. Kev said it's a hanger T-shirt for him. It's not a fold in the drawer. This is a hanger-worthy shirt.
I was amazed when I looked how much these cost.
They were totally affordable. Yeah.
You can get 6 quality T-shirts for $90.
Right. That's amazing.
That you put on a hanger. And I think you get 5 polos for like the same price.
Guys, the holidays are
I haven't got to. I'm gonna have to order a polo.
Yeah, I want that one at the bottom with the drawstring with the hood. I want that, not a polo, but I want that. That hoodie right there.
It never gets that cold for me down here.
Guys, the holidays are here. True Classics, ultra comfortable, perfect fitting essentials make for the perfect gift for you or the man in your life. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now and unlock big savings during their huge holiday sale. So on top of the low prices, you're getting the holiday prices, okay? TrueClassic.com/Kliq. You're going to save even more when you put in the code Kliq. Practically giving this shit away. Please support the show. Please tell them we sent you. End the year with holiday cheer thanks to True Classic. TrueClassic.com/KLIQ Kliq. Thank you, True Classic. I do love your shirts. I have one on underneath my sweater. It's black on black. You can't see. It's actually maroon, but so Ask Nash is what we're doing now. Hashtag Ask Nash is how you can make this happen for yourself, or just go to kliqthisTV.com. Join the premium.
I'm looking to see if I can find the Henleys. Do they have a Henley?
Yes, they do. Actually, it was in the copy too. I think there was an image on the bottom there.
I'm looking for the price of the Henleys. I like them because they got some, like, a lot of t-shirt companies will have, like, they've got some kind of cool colors.
Yes.
And they've also got, like, the Johnny Cash collection where you can get, let me see how many comes in this real quick.
Black on black.
I saw, yeah, six all blacks.
I have so many black t-shirts. I love it. It's great. It's
can't-
part of your capsule wardrobe.
Oh, you can't go, a black t-shirt and a pair of dark button-fly jeans from, because I have to get my shit from American Tall because of my inseam.
Right.
So,
Very good.
perfecto.
Stephen Breach has a question for you, Kev. He says, at what point did you see Paul was curious about booking? We're talking about Paul Levesque here. Was he asking you questions when you had the book in WCW? Does he ever ask you about troubles you had or in WCW?
No, Paul, the Kliq kind of booked their own shit. Like we had, I mean, not like that we overruled Vince in any form or fashion,
right.
but we brought him like a lot of ideas. Like and he would, he would shoot some of it down, some of it he would use, some of it he'd modify. But that was the gist of that group of guys. Was the five of us. Fuck, man, we talked business all the fucking time. My wife would want to strangle me. I'd be on the road for 24 days. I'd come home, give her a kiss, put my shit in the washer and dryer.
Get
and
on the phone with Scott.
Or fucking Paul or Sean. And she'd be like, you better not be talking one of that shit. I'd be like, I gotta go.
You may not have held Vince up, but you definitely painted him into a corner. But I mean, out of best interest for everyone always says best interest for the Kliq, but I do know, if you guys are to be believed, that you guys also went to bat for people that weren't necessarily fans of yours, but that were good for business.
Yeah. Bam Bam did not like us, but we always. I remember Scott in a meeting one time, and Vince said, well, it seems to be because Bam Bam stood up when we got back from Europe, and he says, "Hey man, I just want to say that it's bullshit that we're supposed to be in heels and babyface buses, and the Kliq, they all just go on one bus because they said, fuck you guys, we're going to travel with who we want to." And Scott stood up and he goes, just a fucking something to think about, man. He said, that caravan of fucking people that's following us from town to town for all 12 shows that see the same fucking match every night, I think they got it. I think they know it's a fucking work.
That's funny.
We're down in the bars drinking together. It's like fucking uncle. But so that's what Vince says. Is there heat there? And Scott said, hey, man. He said, I know he don't like us. He said, but Scott said, motherfucker can blame my team.
Right.
So.
The P says, hey, Kev, as a big man in the business, what are your thoughts on Big Bronson Reed as a monster heel? And does he have any similarities to your contemporaries? This show is the best one out there.
I mean, I think that when Kane was talking through that voice box and he said a few things, I think that was such an over Kane. And that's what, by far my favorite edition of Glenn was that, he shot the fucking lightning thunder, whatever the fuck that was lightning out of his hands. And I just thought that I think if you're a monster heel and you start to talk, and you come across intelligence, you come across articulate. I think it just I thought that watching Raw and watching that interview, you've got a guy that's been fucking smashing people, and now all of a sudden you just made him human. They did it with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm watching Braun Strowman fucking, cooking a ribeye and fucking shooting a 50 caliber gun on Instagram, and I'm thinking that guy, because I didn't know him, I'm thinking this is a big monster motherfucker, and then I said, "Oh man, he's a big fucking sweetheart."
Right.
Right.
Joe Freeze, Kevin, Detroiters, in my opinion, is the funniest show of all time, and you were brilliant as Big Hank Cramlin. Were there any plans of bringing him back had the show not been canceled? And would you come back if the show was revived now that it's popular on Netflix?
Well, I was on the last episode of season 1, and they made a whole second season, and they never brought me back. And I thought, like that, our episode was critically acclaimed, and fucking it did great ratings. And I thought for sure I'd come back for 4 or 5 episodes the next year.
Right.
Because like when we're leaving, he says, "Hey Dad, maybe we'll come and see you next weekend." I thought they'd work a deal out, where I do, little run-ins here or there, but nothing. It wasn't like I fucking charged a ton.
Right. Well, so now that it's successful, if there's going to be another run,
I still look like Hank.
Right, exactly. So, get that. I'm sure we have some questions from the audience, but before I do that, I gotta just talk about one of my favorite things in the goddamn world right now, and that's VIIA. VIIA, my VIIA gummy set is just
go with a little Cloud 9 tonight.
Kev, this is oh wait, no, here, this is all right. Cloud 9 at Kevin's instruction. Here's my Cloud 9. What's in my Cloud 9? For Christ's sake, not eyeglasses, I'll tell you that. This is 5 milligrams THC, 50 milligrams of CBD. This relief is the little catchphrase on this jammy right here. And
that one helps get the fucking landing gear down.
That's you're fond of, Kev. What's Kevin's
love
in here? Oh, the love. Let's look at the love for a second.
I don't know why, but two of the love is like that's my. I don't know why it hits me different
than the others.
Why.
Well, the love. Yeah. Let's look at the love here. Let's say you're out with your lady and she comes home and she's wearing like a white leather dress with some snakeskin boots, just something irresistible. You have one of these motherfuckers in your system. You're ripping her from ass to elbow. And a little BLUECHEW first too. Get that rolling.
I'm an animal activist. That I would have to say that I pray that those are fake.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be fake snakeskin boots. But listen, them wrapped around your head will do the trick. I'm going to take a love right now.
Only if she's manscaped.
Only if she's well, you could hit it with the Manscaped first.
All right.
But yes, let's do this here.
Put a little sport Mando in there. Hit her with all of it.
This is amazing. This stuff. Fine. We have the most amazing products here. So I'll be taking now, for everyone who knows. These are cultivated, by the way. This is for different situations. Whatever your day is like. You want to unwind this holiday season? You want to recharge with VIIA? This is the way to go. They're renowned for their award-winning, by the way, THC and THC-free gummies too. I want to show you a pack of that. I'm looking for that right now. So I do have some of the THC-free here also. So if that's what you need, you can do that. But they're all crafted with the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. Best part, VIIA legally ships to nearly all states in the U.S. in discreet packaging directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. No medical card required. So if you're over 21, check out our link. Please go with our link because we're going to get you a discount. It's in our description right here. And use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, for 15% off. Unlock the power of nature. It's organic, vegan hemp extract. Perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. VIIA is the only lifestyle hemp brand. Okay, their products range from 0 milligrams of THC up to 100. Okay, these guys have you covered, whether you're looking to microdose or enjoy some more potent effects, as they say. I'm going to take my love right now, Kev.
You got to watch out because I just looked it up. It's experienced a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs known for their libido-enhancing effects. So, Mama, better watch out.
If I toss and turn tonight, make sure I take a BLUECHEW just in case. I don't want word on the street to be. Yeah, exactly.
You want to get a bad. Last thing you want is a bad book report because you had no fucking sleep.
Precisely. Please go to the link in our description and check out VIIA. We love them. Kevin and I are fans.
The love is a strawberry crush flavor.
Kev doesn't even wait for the ad agency supply. He's got the credit card out.
Shit, $45. $45 for a tube of those. I don't have a problem whatsoever.
Exactly. All right. How about the live audience? Let's wrap us up with some of our friends here who have been sitting patiently through the show. Like Ace. Who wins in a real fight, Booker or Ryback?
I've never seen Ryback go, but Booker's pretty fucking handy with his fists.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're not sure.
I don't know. Ryback's a big old fucking raw bone fucker. They're both sweethearts. I mean, I don't see those two fighting. I don't see what they would fight about.
Well, for $40 million and $20 million on Friday night on Netflix is what they can fight about. Works for
I'll kill a motherfucker for that, my money.
Who else in the house? Dan Updike. Any chance you'll be at Megacon in Orlando this coming February? I still owe you $30 and would love to say hey again. It's Super Bowl weekend.
I don't think I've ever been to Megacon, have I?
Well, if it's the big con in Orlando.
No, I did the horror one.
Oh.
That's the only one I've ever done. I've never done Dragon Con. I've never done Megacon. That would be a nice one to pop in because I could pop in on Saturday and be home for Sunday.
All right. So, Dan, you may see him there. Get your tickets.
Everything is dependent.
Millie Bobby Brown. Who else will be?
Yeah, everything is dependent on my back right now. I got to get this fucking surgery. Once I get the surgery, I'm good to go.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep you updated, Dan. Who else in the house here? Our friends, our KliqThisTV.com subscribers, which you can be part of. Ace Ramon, did you ever see Ricky Gervais's famous 2020 Golden Globes monologue? I did. I was a big fan of it.
Oh, God, I love him. Yeah. I loved the show, too.
Mm-hmm.
The extras.
Yeah. He's definitely a special cat, and I loved he gave no fucks. When anybody does that shit, fucking chucks a moon to the industry. I love it.
Yeah.
Who else can finish us off, as they say? Ivan Garcia, smoking hot Florida Congresswoman Anna Luna questioned whistleblowers on UAPs. What is your opinion on what they are, UAPs?
I don't even know who she is.
We're going to have to, Steve, please do your job here and provide us the hot women.
I can probably pull her up pretty quick.
Let's see what.
Before I answer a question, I got to see how super hot she is.
Okay, here it is, Kev.
All right.
Works for me.
Make her bigger.
You don't want her too big. The image.
She's not. That's super hot.
Well, we don't see I mean, there's more going on.
Fucking, she's like
Kevin.
That's
Kevin.
I'm just saying she's a
Jeff.
downgrade from Monica Lewinsky.
There's a little Monica, and the dress is blue. So
Yeah, I'm not.
oh no, Kev, come on, it's all good, Kev. Come on, it's all.
I'm not feeling her.
No, come on, the Harry Potter outfit there. What's going on with that? Kev,
What?
you have your computer on?
I'm looking at. She's not my type.
Okay, not as tight. But we think.
What was the question? You would.
The UAPs. Question whistleblowers on UAPs.
I just want to see what the hearing was about.
Are these UFOs? Going to my thing here. Peas. Okay, there's a lot for me to read right here.
Yeah,
UFOs and
no,
UAPs.
Yeah, I mean I'll put it this way: if she comes at me and says, "Take me to your leader," I'll be like, "Whatever." Now pull up that picture down there and make her bigger in that picture. That when she's got like that dress
right
on,
there.
yeah, make her bigger than that. You see how she looks.
And look at the positioning of the hand of the reporter.
She's got big, giant Connie Hawkins hands. Just like Dr. J's hand. Shit, wrap that shit around your hog.
Oh my God.
She's like girth queen.
Amazing. Instagram, why didn't Curt Hennig stay in NWO Wolfpack? I thought it was great to see him as a babyface again. Thanks in advance.
I don't know. Probably because Scott came back from rehab and he gave him a beer. I got pissed.
No inside knowledge?
What's that? No, that's what I'm saying. He fucking gave Scott a beer like when he came back from rehab one time. I got pissed.
Oh, I thought you were fucking kidding.
No.
Oh God.
No, wasn't funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one Curt Hennig rib that did not
did
not go over.
No, that was my fucking
Well, let me just remind everyone that Kliq This is a production of Bush and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2024, Bush and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one?
Yes, because we have to talk more about this this cabinet that they're putting together.
Customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love me. Now I'm cold. the customer.